everybody, welcome back to the All Things Good channel and to a new video. I'm back. How are you all? Hope you're all doing really well this week, and I'm sorry I wasn't with you last week. Life got in the way. You know how it is. Sometimes it's just all a bit much, and I felt as if I didn't really have much to share with you particularly. I'll explain a little bit more about that later on in the video in our moment on the bed. So I've been very busy, to say the least, with work and with home life, and I'm sure you can all relate to that. And sometimes that plate spinning thing gets a little bit wobbly, doesn't it? And there's not enough hours in the day to necessarily achieve everything that you want to achieve. So this week's video is a little bit about how I try to fit everything in. And for those of you that are new to the channel, a warm welcome, and you might not know much about the channel or myself or what's going on here. Various things in a nutshell. But at the moment, life is really about me caring for my nearly 94-year-old mother who has unfortunately got Alzheimer's dementia. She lives very, very close to me, and I now work part-time so that I can be her registered carer as well. So life is very busy because I do continue to work. I have my own house to run. I'm looking after Nancy, aka Mom. And sometimes you just feel like you're overwhelmed, don't you? And this video is a little bit about how I try to fit in everything else in life and try to get it as balanced as possible. Sharing that with you so that you might be able to relate, or you might think, well, yeah, I'm really busy and I feel overwhelmed sometimes and I'm not sure how to cope, or I need a bit of light relief, I don't know where to get it from, or I haven't got the finances to go on holiday, so I need to just enjoy my own home, or all those kind of things. So this week's video is just a little bit about how I just do the day-to-day and how I get through. And today the sun is shining, which makes me super happy, but this video has been filmed a little bit sort of over the last couple of weeks. So sometimes the weather's been blooming freezing, quite frankly. We've had like 4 seasons, haven't we, this month? And we're getting proper April showers, that's for sure. Today's beautiful. I have managed to start in the garden, and I am really enjoying doing that. I'm finding getting out in the garden in my spare time very therapeutic, and I've got a few stresses and strains going on at the moment, of which I will tell you about in Moment on the Bed a bit later on. And we've got some very good news on the health front as well. So I will let you enjoy this week's video, and I do hope you enjoy it. If you haven't done already, please like and subscribe, and let's get into this week's video. So just like anybody really, I am an extremely busy person. I work 3 days a week office-based, and the rest of the week is predominantly spent caring for Nancy, aka Mom, who has Alzheimer's dementia. So I spend a lot of time with her, taking her out and about, doing her house jobs, helping around as much as possible, being with her, and just giving as much support as possible when she needs it. But I also have my own house to look after, and generally all my house jobs have to be done late afternoons or early evenings. It's really nice having the lighter evenings now. The days seem a bit longer. I feel like I've got more time to do things. But like everybody, I have lots of household chores to do in between being incredibly busy work-wise and with Mum.
We found the gold. We thought we'd be forever young, but now I know we can't keep floating. We have to fall. This is the beat of broken hearts. Is it all lost? We can't go on again, 'cause you seem like you want it bad. My head is spinning off the edge, and I'm giving in way too fast, way too fast. twisted in my mind, leading me on like it's whatever. We could go on, but we should know better. We can't go on again, 'cause you seem like you want it bad. My head is spinning off the edge, and I'm giving in way too fast, way too fast. We can't go on again, 'cause you seem like you want it bad. My head is spinning off the edge, and I'm giving in way too fast, way too fast.
Okay, everybody, I want your honest opinions. So as you know, recently had the kitchen slightly changed. The units have been painted and new worktops in black. And I can't afford a new dining room table. This is an oak table and chairs, so it's weighty, it's good quality. The chairs are actually a faux cream leather underneath that are ripped to shreds from when the cats were kittens. It is quite old, this table and chairs. And up until the kitchen was redone, I've used grey or cream covers over the chairs, depending on what I fancy, really, and a grey wipeable tablecloth. But because I can't afford a new table and chairs and don't really need them, I've actually decided to buy new covers and a new tablecloth to match the sort of black and white theme that's going on in the kitchen, making dinner at the moment. But what do you think? Grace's first reaction was, oh, we have a chessboard as a table. Yeah, it does sort of it sends your eyes a bit funny if you look at it too long. But I'm quite liking the black covers. It hasn't made the room look dark or anything like that, but honest opinion, what do you think? Or should I just go for a plain white tablecloth? Or I could just mix it up, couldn't I? Really, but seriously, I need your comments. What do you think? Any good? So as a family, we have made the decision to actually get rid of our hot tub. Whilst this has been loads of fun over the past couple of years, unfortunately, it has got a little bit neglected over this winter, and we haven't used it at all this winter, which is such a shame, really, because it's a lot of fun to be in a lovely hot, bubbly hot tub when it's cold outside. But life has just got in the way and we have not used it. Ideally, when you have one of these hot tubs, you should actually have it switched on and kept at a regular temperature all the time. You then put chemicals in to keep the pH level correct and anything like that. Because I can't afford to have it plugged in all of the time, it's been a case of just use it every now and then, plug it in 24 hours before you want to use it to heat it up. So I have been putting the chemicals in, even though we haven't used it. I think what's happened over the winter is some rainwater has seeped in at some point somewhere, and it's actually gone green even with the chemicals in, and it's gone a little bit mouldy, and it's really rather horrible. Anyway, we've decided as we're not getting enough use out of it, we're actually going to sell it on to someone that we know will make a lot of use out of it. But of course, I'm not going to pass it on until it's all lovely and clean. I used a mixture of a little bit of bleach and some white vinegar and a tiny bit of washing up liquid to clean this all out and disinfect it a little bit as well. And then you must make sure that it's absolutely bone dry before you start to deflate it and pack it away. Otherwise, you're just going to get more mold in it again. this was the easiest bit of them all. The deflating only took 5 minutes. So on to the next day, and whilst that's now gone to its new home, I thought it was about time I actually cleaned down my patio on this lovely fine spring day that we finally got. I decided to jet wash it all down. Actually, it stayed remarkably clean underneath where the hot tub had been, but everywhere else had got a little bit dirty over the winter months, so I gave it a really good clean with the jet wash. Then I let it go dry. I actually left it for about 2 hours. I do get a little bit of a flood in my garden when I use any water, so I did have to let that drain away. I then put a little bit of weed killer in the gaps, and actually my patio is pretty old, can't afford to replace it, and it has got some really rather huge gaps, especially now that I've jet washed it. But just for a quick, easy, cheap fix on these gaps, I actually filled these with sand. They were only £2 per bag. I bought 2 bags and I only needed 1. So I did it by hand to begin with, and then I brushed it all over with the broom, and that's the finished effect. I have just come into Lichfield town centre. I'm actually here to have my nails done this afternoon. I have still got my, what Grace calls my mini egg nails. These are my spring Easter nails, but as much as I like them long, they're actually too long at the moment for typing at work. So I am going to have them a bit shorter and a different colour. I haven't decided what I'm having yet. I'm so cold. I'm all bundled up with clothes today, and the car says that outside it is 7 degrees Celsius, which, if you're not in this country and you use Fahrenheit, I think that's about 44, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Not warm for this time of year at all. Considering the other day we had 20 degrees and I really thought spring was here. It was so lovely and delightful, but today we've got rain, floods, gales, you name it. It's feeling like winter. Anyway, I've arrived in Lichfield. I've just paid for my parking here in the public car park. I use an app on my phone called Pay by Phone. I think there's all sorts of different apps, isn't there, you can use in predominantly, I'd say, most car parks now, rather than having to keep your coins and making sure you've got them in your car for when you're parking. So it's really useful. It's a really good app, and it's a via satellite app. So as soon as it comes up and I click on location, it actually tells me what car park I'm in, or the nearest one. So the one I'm in, if it's the one you're in, it'll come up with it's no feet away, and the next one is like 8 feet away. So you check that you're in the right one, and then you just put how long you want to stay. So I've just put an hour on. I can extend that at any time on the app. If I got stuck out and about somewhere in town, or ended up doing something else and I wanted to extend my parking, I can do that. So that's good. And I've arrived a little bit early for my appointment, hence I'm talking to you lovely people. So I did take Nancy out this morning. She's doing okay, and I've ordered her a frame for the lounge. It's kind of a walking frame, and one of the reasons I did that was a couple of people commented, especially my daughter actually, on last week's video where there was a few bits and pieces with Nancy, and there was a bit where she's walking through her house, and if you notice, if you did watch last week's video, when she's moving about, she's actually holding onto the furniture to get about the house downstairs. And Grace was watching the video and she went, "Mother, you can't let Granny do that. She cannot furniture walk. Furniture moves. This is not good. She needs a frame, a walking frame." So I said, well, good luck with that one, because you can try and convince her. I don't think it's going to go down very well. But actually it went down all right. And I had a word with her and I said, Grace has told me off. She's watched the video and she doesn't like that you're furniture walking around the house. So I've ordered off Amazon a slimline frame that's got wheels at the front and stoppers at the back. So we'll have to figure out how that works. And I never thought ever for 1 minute she would go for it, but I think she's struggling so much that she'll probably be delighted, to be honest. So that's coming. We do have the appointment set up for the steroid injection in her knee, which I'm hoping is going to work, but that's not for another week and a bit yet. So she's really had to wait a long time for this. So I do hope it does something. I was supposed to be at the hospital today for checkup stroke, are we doing this again appointment, and they've cancelled on me. Staff shortages, what can you do? What can you do? So I'm waiting for a call back from the hospital with a rearranged date. I have made inquiries with my doctor about the iron tablets that I'm on. I've popped into my local pharmacy as well. We had a chat about it and we said, yeah, if you actually look at the prescription they've given me for the new iron tablets, it's less iron than I was taking before. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I've emailed the doctor and said, what's going on? And as the pharmacist said, which was an interesting point, he said it could just be that whoever's reviewed your bloods, it could have been a locum doctor, it might be someone that hasn't read through all of your medical records and has presumed you're not on iron, so has started you on this particular iron tablet rather than reading through and going, oh, this lady's already on quite a high dose of iron, and has not sort of seen the bigger picture, as it were. And I said to the pharmacist, yeah, that's a good point, that is probably what's happened, but equally, isn't that a bit scary that a doctor has prescribed something without really looking through the rest of my medical records or what's going on previously? What if they'd given me a drug that didn't go with the other drugs that I'm on? And I don't know how these things work, but it would appear there's a little error somewhere down the line as to the dosage of iron I'm going to need to help me feel better. Oh God, I'm just looking at the rain and thinking, I've got a 2 or 3 minute walk to the nail salon, and it's like, oh, really? When's this gonna stop? Right, let's go and have our appointments. And, well, if I'm a little bit early, it doesn't matter. I can sit inside and have a look at the colours or whatever I'm going to choose today. We're going to get rid of the Easter nails. Let's go and have a look. Well, I'm very windswept. I've just had my pampering hour, and when you can't decide what colour you want, go French tip. Plain French tip. Bit shorter, squarer, so I'm going to be able to type at work. And I think what's really nice about the white French tip is that it kind of goes with anything you wear, any colour. So I couldn't decide what colour to have, so we've gone French white tip, and now I'm desperate for a wee. I'm dying for my dinner, so let's go home. Look how beautiful this is. Now I am so pleased that this clematis is coming back, because this used to go along my old fence, along my old trellis across here when I moved into this house, and it covered the whole lot. It only comes out April, May time, but when I had to have these new fences, I was so disappointed. I had to cut it all back, and it was left about that big, and I really didn't think it was going to grow back. Well, 2 years after having the fences put in, it is growing back with abundance this year. So I am hoping to get it trained up here onto this trellis. Hopefully by next year, next summer, it will be coming along here. But how pretty is that? The only thing is, it doesn't last very long, only lasts 2 or 3 weeks, but it's these little things that make me so happy. How beautiful is that? So here we are, having our moment on the bed, and I'm having a moment on the bed with a much needed cup of coffee. Bear with. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness it's Friday. It's Friday, and I'm not long back in the house after an incredibly busy day at work. And then straight after work, I took Nancy to the doctor's, and this evening she has had that long-awaited steroid injection in her knee. She was incredibly brave. It was really easy. Her knee was very, very swollen. I hadn't actually seen her without trousers on for a while. And when she took her trousers off for the doctor to do the injection, I was like, oh my goodness, that really is quite swollen. So she's had that. Now, it could be that it doesn't have any effect at all, but that's generally, apparently, unusual for most patients. And she should get about 6 months of relief from it, and that won't sort of start kicking in for about another week to 2 weeks. So fingers crossed on that score. And if it does work and works well, she's very welcome to have another one when it wears off. 6 months or so time. So that's good. I'm so pleased that that's been done. And I did buy her a walker. I'll just put a tiny little clip here because I know she's not in this week's video, but briefly here just to show you her first day with her walker. She's got a little bit more confident with it now, to the point where, because I didn't think she'd even want to have this in the first place, she's used it in the house and she used it in the garden, but we're now taking it out and about as well. So she's, in fact, today when we got to the doctor's, she said, oh no, I can't go anywhere without it. I can't go anywhere without it. She can go to the supermarket without it because she can have a trolley, but going somewhere like an appointment like today to the doctor's was great. Absolutely great. And as much as I love linking arms with her and having her close to me, I did notice, as I've probably said before, that I was starting to walk slowly and a bit hunched over because I'm supporting her. And I think that's been having a bit of a detrimental effect on the problems I have with my back and the arthritis and what have you. So it's doing us both a huge favour, and I'm so pleased that she's taken to it really, really well. So that's really good news. The other good news, health-wise, is that I have been back to the hospital regarding this procedure. I don't need to have another one. What is left is scar tissue, and I'm completely clear of anything nasty. So I have been completely discharged from the hospital, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. So it's been a very good week health-wise for both myself and Nancy. But we have had, and I certainly have had, an incredibly busy couple of weeks, and I really do apologise. There was no video last Sunday. And I know a few of you commented, hope everything's okay. And yes, it is. On the whole, it's just been hectic, chaotic and hectic. Work seems to have got really, really busy. It's that time of year with house buying and selling and things like that. But we've also had a lot of people off from work with holidays and one thing and another. And it's just at the point where it's all started to built up. So my work days have been immensely busy, really, really busy. And you come home from a full day at work and that's all you can do, really. There's not much else that can be done. I've also got a little issue going on still with the car parking problem I talked to you about a few weeks ago. I'm not going to go into it at the moment because I've had to go down the legal route. So for legal reasons, I can't talk about it very much at all at the moment. Needless to say, all I can tell you is that it's become very stressful, actually, and really horrible. And that's why I've had to get legal intervention. And it's really not nice at all. But actually, it's caused a lot of stress and a lot of problems. And last week, I was just so fed up with it all and fed up with, well, I was just so tired as well, really, just so busy. But what I do find is when I get stressed, part of my therapy for that, if you like, is the enjoyment of my own home. And some people might find that incredibly boring. I mean, you know how I like to have organisation and a clean and tidy house and things where they should be. And I think with some aspects of my life, I am a bit OCD, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, actually. And I find that I throw myself into those kind of things more when I've got a lot going on up here, it's sort of like a physical relief and release of everything that's going on up here. So really, the last couple of weeks when I have been homebound, I've just really enjoyed sorting things out and getting the house nice and enjoying the blessings of the things that I've worked for and earned or have been able to have in my life for whatever reason. And sometimes you forget, don't you, to take stock and just sit back and think, whatever your little lot is, and I don't have a huge amount, but whatever your lot is, sometimes you do have to sit back and go, do you know what? This didn't come from nothing. Whatever we have comes from somewhere and something, and generally it's a lot of hard work. And you have to think, you know, I'm generally very proud of where I am now and at the moment in my life, and I'm very proud and very humbled and very honoured to be looking after Mom, to have that in my life, as hard work as it is, as stressful as it can be at times, as upsetting as it can be at times, as busy as it is most of the time. It's actually a blessing to have her and to be this busy. So I sort of turned it all around a bit last week, and I thought, whilst I didn't think enough content to give you a video, and I actually, one evening I thought I was going to get this video done for last week, and then I thought, I don't even want to do moment on the bed, and that's awful because I love to talk to you. I love it, and I love to be able to share everything with you, and I just did not have it in me to sit and have a conversation. And I thought, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I'm saying and telling you the same things every week, and I don't know whether that's interesting enough. I don't know whether it's enough content or there's no difference in content. And then I thought, well, actually, that's because this is my life at the moment. My life is spinning the plates, and those plates are generally all the same thing every week, and Nancy forms a huge part of that. And then I thought, no, these are things I should be proud of, and I hope that you do enjoy me sharing those, you know, even if it is today all I've done is done the house and fold the washing and put the hoover on and put the washing machine on, and I'm showing you that, and some people might go, well, why are we looking at that? It's boring. It's not boring to me. It shows my journey and how I'm able to now balance everything in my life to a really good level where everybody is, thank God, at the moment, floating along nicely in their own way. My kids are settled with what they're doing. They have relationships. I'm very settled in my relationship and very content and happy, and he's a godsend, quite frankly. Nancy is day by day, but doing as best she can. And I thought, actually, no, I've got this made. I'm very, very lucky to be in the position that I am, but sometimes I'm very, very tired. And last week I just thought, I'm too tired to even show you or talk to you about even, oh, that's all I'd done that week, you know, appointments, looking after Mum, going shopping, doing the house. That's the same thing week in, week out. I do want to bring you new and different content. I do want to try, now especially we've got the lighter evenings, and Nancy doesn't really need me in the evenings. It might be nice to start getting out and about a bit. If I can't do it with her, because she's quite restricted in mobility at the moment, to go and do something with Grace, if she's got an evening off, or Paul, go somewhere and be able to bring you something different to see. So that was concerning me a lot last week, and I thought, no, I'm not going to put a video out because it would have almost been a repetition completely of the week before or a couple of weeks before, and I don't want you to get bored, and I don't want you to think that I don't care. You know, you're looking at content thinking, oh, she covered this a couple of weeks ago, and has she just put that in because she can't think of anything else? Or do you know what I mean? I don't want you to not enjoy the content, and I need to get my thinking cap on, and I would love to fulfill so many things. There's so many places I'd like to go and show you. There's so many things I'd like to buy and show you. Can't afford them at the moment. There's so many things I would like to venture into. 18 months ago I was thinking of getting an online business, and I'd set up the website, and that's as far as I got. I simply do not have the time to do a lot of those things at the moment, and it's predominantly because of caring for Nancy. But as I say, that's a privilege, and if you don't mind me sharing that, then all is good. Everything is good. All things are good. Do I make any sense whatsoever, or am I really rambling this week? But health-wise, we're all doing very, very, very well. And so I know I don't really have any purchases to show you particularly, because having recently had the kitchen done, trying to save my pennies a bit at the moment, we've got quite a few issues going on at the moment with one thing and another, and everybody's feeling the pinch, aren't they, financially? Everybody is, and we certainly are at the moment. So I'm reining in the spending a little bit as much as I can and just buying the essentials. But bear with me, and hopefully we'll get some more content. I'm really enjoying, actually, this week, having got out in the garden and starting to do things in the garden. And Mum's garden, which I probably will film this week, is being completely transformed and made beautiful by the invisible chef, who is not only a wonderful chef, is a wonderful gardener. He's pretty wonderful at everything. Again, I'm very blessed, but he's been doing Mum's garden. It's starting to look so pretty. So we want to do more for her and more for her garden, be it so she can enjoy the summer when it comes this year. But you know, I'm not going to say, you know, I'm sorry if I'm showing you boring content, or because to me, my home and looking after it and the people that are in it and the people that are around me is something I'm very proud of, and I honour it and I cherish it, and I hope that comes across, if nothing else. And everybody else, you know, can do one, quite frankly, because I'm not interested in these petty arguments. There's more important things in life, isn't there? And I'm not interested in the stress that I'm feeling about other things at the moment. Is really something I should just try and go, do you know what, just forget it. There are far more important things in life. But when people are vindictive and unpleasant, it does cause stress, especially when it's around your own home. As I say, I can't really go into that at the moment. So maybe one day, hopefully, when it all gets sorted out, I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about it, but it probably isn't really worth the breath, quite frankly. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this week's video. And if you have, do please like and subscribe if you haven't done already. And I am going to have a good old rest this weekend. I have decided to have as much of a rest as possible. I'm hoping to go to the Creme actually on Sunday if I can, i.e. today, the day you're watching this video, later on, because tomorrow would have been my dad's 87th birthday. We didn't get to the Creme at Easter because we were all a bit poorly, and then Mum got COVID and the weather was awful. We do normally go at Easter and we didn't. So we thought we'd go this weekend, which also covers Dad's birthday. So that's really my plan only for this weekend. And other than that, I'm going to have a jolly good rest. And I hope you do have a lovely remainder of this weekend as well. And until next Sunday, stay safe, stay in the boat, and keep doing all things good. And I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye.